I always do appreciate going back to Fumi Vision. Just kidding, I don't. I bit the bullet and tried to take the train, but the rush hour crowds were so bad that I had to get off halfway and walk. I'm running pretty late. Is Saya worried? Okay. When I entered the yard, I realized the front door has been left wide open. Light from the living room is seeping out of the hallway, and I hear what sounds like someone smacking their lips. There's also a tantalizing fragrance in the air. Is it Saya? I considered calling out to her, but decided to enter in silence instead. What is it with people in this game, like sneaking? Something smells strange, though not unpleasant. The odor is quite soothing. In fact, it reminds me of Saya's hair. At first, I'm surprised what I see in the living room. The floor is covered with what seemed to be some kind of grass, probably sort of a herb-like smell, and there are fruit or vegetable-like balls of varying size scattered everywhere.
Saya.
What is she eating? What is that? Green, yucky, yellow stuff? Saya turns around, her eyes wide with surprise. She then looks away sheepishly, like a child caught at some prank. Remembering that she has never eaten in front of me before, everybody must be quite embarrassed. I scoop up the closest fruit-like thing and pop it in my mouth, ignoring Saya's hint to wave me off. It has a strange texture, soft and pliable like a peach or a pear. When I bite it with my back teeth, a succulent juice fills my mouth, combined with sharp, strong fragrance. It's like anything I've ever tasted. Wait a minute, how did you melt? So you melted it in the kitchen, then put it in the living room to eat on the ground? Sounds very unbelievable. I pick up a different lump, displaying a searing of fruity flesh around the hard core. Tearing apart a chunk of it with my mouth, I find it has a similar taste to the last one. Okay, what is he eating? Like, I don't want to say. I don't even know. What are you eating, dude? At first, Saya looks dumbstruck, but then she burst out laughing. She catches them in the nearby park. What is she eating? There's an impressive nature preserve not too far from here. I've heard about fruits like this growing here, but, well, of course, they only look like fruits to me. They're really something else. Saya seems really happy. I'm happy too, of course. Eating with someone is much more fun than eating alone. It makes the food taste better too. Sealing the small fruits in Tupperware and the large one in pots and bowls, Saya and I store the remaining food in the refrigerator. Seeing our dinner fills me with anticipation. I feel that little by little I'm starting to regain the joy of living. Saya will guide me. With her, I can live on. True Scary Stories, Hospital Edition. We're switching our story? Okay. Chapter 4, The Monster in University Hospital. A research student relates his shocking experience at Tokyo's most prestigious hospital. You believe him or not? Okay, strange things started happening at the hospital around the end of last spring. It began with patients waking up in the middle of the night screaming. Okay, I was reading numbers. They all spoke of terrifying nightmares. Many of them had to be sedated. Some patients even transferred to other hospitals because of it. The worst thing was that they all had the exact same dream. A dream about some horrifying, disgusting monster staring down at them from their bedside. But the really strange stuff started happening after that. There used to be a lot of stray cats around campus looking for scraps from the students. One day the cat suddenly disappeared, and it wasn't that they stopped coming, it was more like they vanished from the area entirely. And then people started walking their dogs around. According to rumors, the dogs were refusing to go anywhere near the school. Okay, so you guys remember how Saya said she always used to look down at people and scare them? Apparently they said this monster did the same thing. And missing cats. And Saya said she got some food, she gets this food around, you know, a campus or a park, so who knows, maybe Saya's the monster. Eventually, Saint started going missing in the hospital, organs to be precise. Transplant organs kept disappearing from stores. Some people came close to losing their jobs over it. Witnesses who were free that had happened. We tried to keep it from research students, but we heard that was far worse than that. People started saying that there was something living in the hospital. The janitor would find strange meshes that could only have been made in the middle of the night, traces of something that had been crawled down the hallway, or a weird stain that seemed to be caused by something dripping from the ceiling. And if you remember, there was some weird olive green stuff when Omi went to Fuminori's house. The wait shift nurses started talking about hearing strange noises the same night the patients woke screaming. There's one last story, one you can never mention inside the hospital. One day the operator's department went crazy. They said that newborn disappeared in the night. If that were true, the police would have come and it would have been all over the news, but they had some big shots managed to make it all go away. It's just a rumor, of course. These strange incidents only started towards the end of summer. Now there are almost no patients complaining of nightmares, and the cats have started coming back to campus. End of summer, that's around the time Fuminori went back to his house and Saya started living with him. Coincidence? Probably. But still, what happened in the hospital that summer? Even now I was thinking about it, giving me the creeps. This is the third day in a row that I haven't been able to get in touch with Omi. There's no sign that she returned to her apartment. Even her family doesn't know anything. Her friends already filed a missing persons report. She's worried about Omi, of course, but the incident with Fuminori 3 days ago must still be weighing on her mind as well. You haven't seen Fuminori since then, and Fuminori has made any effort to approach her or Koji. 4 people used to meet in the cafeteria between classes, but now there's only 2. It's a lie, of course. Koji knows where Omi planned to go that evening. We don't want to bring Fuminori up in front of Yo. The awkward silence is mercifully broken by the bell signaling the start of the next period. If Koji isn't mistaken, Yo is supposed to have class period 2, but he just sits there, staring off into space, unable to come with anything to say. He leaves the cafeteria reluctantly. Both Omi's disappearance and Yo's depression worried Koji, and both problems lead to the exact same place. When Omi went missing, the first thing he did was question Fuminori. After all, the last time he'd seen her was he stormed off to give Fuminori a piece of her mind. Fuminori responded with unequivocal denial and acted like he hadn't the slightest idea where Omi might have gone to seen him. Perhaps that was only natural, as he was unaware that Omi and Koji had witnessed him reduce Yo to tears. Did Omi make it to Fuminori's house? She ran a wave of emotion when she left and might have calmed down and changed her mind halfway there. Or perhaps she ran into trouble on the way? Koji concluded, or more accurately convinced himself that one of these possibilities was the truth, consciously denying that one remaining possibility, that Fuminori was lying, that he had met Omi and he was involved with her disappearance. Wedged by the police, Koji told the truth about Omi's destination only by the train station, and he had no idea where she planned to go after that. He wanted to cooperate with the search, of course, but Omi couldn't have made it to Fuminori's house. Fuminori said so himself, didn't he? In that case, he told the police everything they needed to know. Not wanting to get that still fragile Fuminori involved, he forced himself to accept his flimsy logic. But the conflict had built up inside him without this notice, leading unanswered suspicion to fester in his mind. Koji is deep in thought, paying no attention to his surroundings, but perhaps that he allowed himself to get aside of his friends back for the crowd of smiling students.
Fuminori.
At first, Koji assumed that he's headed to the lecture hall, but it soon appeared that he's dead going home. Strange, medical students have a required course in the afternoon. So he intentionally surprised, Koji had changed life for only a second. He follows his friends, taking care to stay far enough behind that he won't be noticed. Fuminori wasn't going home. As we came out when he boarded a train heading the opposite direction. Koji Desa was going to see his doctor at the T University Hospital, but Fuminori rode straight for the closest
ここ
station.
に向かってる。
At first, Cody felt ashamed for telling his friend like this, but his conscience felt silent as Fuminori's acting grew more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Cody feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge will be welcome, no matter how slight. Even Cody began to think that there must be more behind Fuminori's shame than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that would help him decide whether Fuminori can still be trusted. Fuminori gets off the small station in a nondescript suburb of Tokyo. Cody followed, trying not to lose sight of him amid the other disembarking passengers. The area is quite desolate, with only a small bookstore, a convenience store, and a market in front of the train station. It's easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. This neighborhood was carved out of Fuji foothills. Here and now there remain steps inclined to wooden that escaped assimilation. Koji's amazed that a quiet place exists less than an hour out of central Tokyo. Fuminori seems to know these streets. He moves quickly and perfectly through the suburban community, his eyes fixed straight ahead. For a while, Fuminori reached the house. Without ringing the bell or even knocking, he opens the door and vanishes inside, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. After waiting to see if Fuminori comes back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Ogai, it reads. Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of weaponry sticking out of the mail slot. This, coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests that it had been abandoned for some time. A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the Ogai home. Fortunately, it does not appear to be some sort of house at the rear exit. Koji settled down on a bench to begin a stakeout. I should have brought more smokes. 1 hour passes, then another. There remains no sign of movement around the Ogai residence. Soon twilight settles upon the neighborhood. After Koji one pack of cigarettes run out, the stakeout becomes a battle against mounting impatientness. He kills time by redialing Omi on his cell and seeing her short text messages, but efforts are futile, as he knew they would be. When the sky begins to go deep blue, it still looks the same. Streetlight come out. Fuminori finally moves from the house and heads back toward the station with the same hurried stride. After some brief consideration, Koji decided that right now, investigating the house is more important than telling Fuminori. He rings the doorbell just to make sure. I've seen the expected silence respond. He checks to make sure that no one's watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. The moment he enters the house, stale air thick with mold and dust fills Koji's nostrils. It's the unmistakable smell of a house that has long lain untouched. There's also a faint hint of something in the air, something resembling damp sewers and faded moving the light switch does nothing. The power must be cut off. Koji uses a cigarette lighter to illuminate the immediate area. As he starts covering the floor, he sees several brand new trails of footprints that can only be made by shoes, Fuminori's. Koji decides to follow suit, and sprints with courtesy. He enters with his shoes on. The wired flickering flame pushes back to deathly silence the gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see evidence of life remaining. Everything in furniture to tail wire and appliances, nothing seems to be missing. Thanks to the dust suggests that the house has been empty for several months, which means that his owner must have left with little more than clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? Calendar of dinner still turned to April. Empty and silent, yet still exhibiting signs of life that had been once lived there, the house reminds Koji of a passenger ship entombed at the bottom of the sea. In the grave-like quiet, a sinister thought suddenly entered his mind. No one is living here. Does not mean the owner left. Maybe he was murdered and the rotting corpse was right under Koji's feet. He found himself wanting a stronger light. Flashlight in his hand would make him feel much better. Koji follows Fuminori's foot to the second floor and begins to catch a scent of paper and stale air. It smells of all books, instantly recognizable by anyone who's worked in an antique bookstore or library. The first room on the second floor turned out to be a study, towering shelves packed with a vast number of books that Koji feared for the stability of the floor. As medical to himself, he noticed stern at a glance that the study belonged to a medical professional, and a high level one at that. During the content of books, a technical volumes far beyond a simple student's understanding. The owner's interests lie more with medical research than with clinical practice. Fuminori must have been most of his time here. The scattered dust suggests that he was searching for something, and the contents of desk drawers are obvious to Saray. A small pile of books stacked on the side table catches his eye. Being next to the desk, They have been most frequently read. Their nature just sheds some light on the character of the person who worked here. Koji frowned and examined the free book. They aren't scientific texts like that, but old, weather-bound Western tomes like the sort you would find in a rare bookstore. Titled or meaningless him, trait descriptions appears to be concerned centered, but ars magna et ultima is some kind of treatise on deviation. And there's the Vonic manuscript, which means most likely sort of picture book. When he pages through it, he finds the text utterly incomprehensible. Maybe some type of cipher. Wherever they are, they certainly have nothing to do with medicine. Refuting Koji's earlier guess that this guy with the doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly noticed a glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized flashlight, quite out of place in one of these dusty books. Fuminori must have brought it in. With relief, Koji exchanged his lighter for his flashlight. His tiny body emits a powerful light, being that cast away the darkness. His courage restored, he decided to explore the rest of the house. Koji noticed something strange, something that was not visible in the lighter's weak flame. The slime. Dark, oily stains are everywhere. The stains are exactly thick around the doorknobs and stair banisters, like someone grabbed them with hands covered in greasy cloth. Looking closer, it seemed that the slime was points low in the walls, almost the wet mop was run violently across the floor. Could Ogai have made these marks? If so, how? Koji began to feel sick as he imagined a man scampering through the house with slime dripping from his body. Okay, before I end the part, this actually gets pretty good. Finding the bathroom door next to the study, Koji checked the closet on the hunch. He discovered the 2 empty suitcases. Not one by when he got on a long vacation. I thought she'll run through him. Whoever's living here is still somewhere inside the house. Suppressing the urge to flee, Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. He finds the corpse and call the police right away. He might get away with trespassing to reports at first, but if he finds the body later, it'll be awfully hard to explain his fingers all over the house. The flashlight reveals the den to be covered in even more slime than the rest of the house. Some look like to have been drenched from the bottom of a swamp. In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He don't want any fuel for his imagination. He reaches the door to the bathroom. A common scene from TV dramas flashed through his head. A body with slit wrists floating in a bathtub full of water. I wonder a movie where a hitman disposes the victim in a bathroom tub filled with lye? Koji braces himself to the worst and opens the door slowly, then shines his light into a cemented bathtub that appears from the dark like a white ghost. Bones. So many bones. Bones black with dry flesh and blood. Well then, let's review something. So, in this house, there is weird slime. Remember correctly, Fuminori's house had slime, and the hospital also said it had slime. So, could this have been Saya? Maybe. Who knows? Well, we'll see in the next episode why there are so many freaking bones. That's kind of creepy, actually. Ew.